What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included Season 3. And this is a perfect example of this mod that makes them smarter not working. This guy, got himself stuck. Now, I actually think it's not the mod's fault. Of course it's not. And I am no modder, so really I shouldn't judge. What's actually happening, I think, personally, is I've got two mods installed, and you just saw it there. One is the chain destruction mod, so they destroy one of the items and it does all of them. And the other is to make them smarter, and obviously they're not working together very well because they're going and destroying a block. The AI, I would imagine, thinks it's going to destroy one block, and then it destroys everything that's connected to it. It's got no way of knowing where or what that block is and how many of them or where they go, so I think that's what's happened. He's gone to one side of the platform, destroyed the one block, it's then destroyed the platform, and then he's stuck. But who knows? Right, a bit of wire in there, but we're not going to be watching that, so let's get on with something more interesting. Okay, so we're going to make a room that is specific to the, bloody hell, clothing and stuff. But I am using the machinery mod, and this time I'm going to make it work, because I don't know why I struggled last time, but it didn't seem to work. So it does tell you when you hover over it what machines it covers, and it does cover all of these. Now, what's going to happen is, upon using the machinery table, they will then jerry-rig your machines, and it makes them 50% more productive. I think, so 50% less resources and 100% faster at doing whatever it is they're going to do. So we'll action now. The reason I'm interested in doing these is because I want to start getting some Atmo suits in now. I'm skipping the gas masks for now, going straight for Atmo suits. I'm going to lock down the base. Literally said the wrong option, the only option actually. The sides and the bottom, and leave the top open. They will then go to the top of the base and left or right, depending on where they need to go to. Pick up a Atmo suit and then go about their way. And that is including all of the farms and all of the, what they called on the right hand side, industrial buildings. Now, once we get enough plastic, I will be then using the teleport tubes, and they're not teleporting, but you know, the speed tubes as a much quicker option, and they won't need to have Atmo suits for those, because wherever they go to will be oxygenated. But there's no way we've got enough plastic yet, and obviously with the upcoming issues with the 𝐑𝐄𝐋 as well, I lose most of the population due to that issue that I mentioned. And that's the population of the glossy 𝐑𝐄𝐋. Obviously the 𝐑𝐑�𝐋, the standard 𝐑𝐄𝐋 that give us the fibers are fine, because they do eat the pincho peppers, and they have got plenty of those. So, still on the subject of the Atmo suits, I'm going in and getting them built now. There's 6 per side, but I think the left-hand side is going to need more than the right-hand side, but we'll see how it goes. So I've done 6 per side, which is 12 in total. Making them out of iron, because iron is a better material than copper, which is what I normally use. I haven't looked at the tungsten or the gold ones, so I'll probably do a bit of research on the stats and let us know accordingly. But for now, I just want to get them done. So again, I said to go left, there's going to be 6. To go right, there's going to be 6. There is no option to get outside other than going through one of these 2 options. And I don't think you can get from left to right outside of the base either. But I could be wrong. I will need to make sure you can't, because if someone comes in the wrong way, they'll just drop the suit on the floor. They won't put it on the holder, which means it won't get recharged and it won't get charged with oxygen. And yes, we need oxygen, but I have said, again, I think either the last episode or the one before, I'm going to use electrolysis and an entirely separate set of water to use. I'm not going to pump it out the base at all, because I don't trust it, or I don't trust myself not to forget. And then I'm just going to wire these in here as soon as I can. The spine doesn't really work correctly, because as I said, I'm still digging out biomes. And so the new power spine, or the moved power spine, doesn't fit the base fully yet, as you can see. It's part built. I can quickly just chuck one here though. All I need is a bit of floor. I don't have to, but I'm going to. That left hand side, dig out one tile so that the duplicate can get all the way over to get this power cable in. And we'll chuck one in there as well. What we're looking at right now for coal is looking at, what is that, 35, 36? About 36 tons. So again, coal is doing okay. We are not running out of coal. I do need to have a look at the sedimentary rock though, because I'll be honest, I don't think I've checked it ever. And although there is more of that than coal on the map, it will run out at some point. And when that runs out, the coal runs out. Now we are making power from the electrothermal generators, electrostatic generators, whatever, that we have all over the map, doing various different cooling regimes, and that is, of course, giving us free energy. So it's well worth it. I do want to do some of these snazzy suits. Now, the snazzy suits there, you can then use the other table and make them even snazzier. And I'm going to do that. I want to try and make, like, the doctors wear a specific outfit, and maybe the diggers wear a specific outfit. I'm going to look also at the blueprints, because there are some that you can actually make that look actually like the profession. Again, it's overkill. You don't need to do this. It gives them nothing in terms of stats or abilities. It just is part of the game, and I want to give it a go. And I've chucked in some of these butcher machines for butcher station, sorry, for the various different rooms. All they're going to do actually is kill off the old critters. Now, it's not necessary. They will die anyway, and you'll still get the meat from them. But the light bulb one, as I'm calling it, the shine nymphs, or the light bulb room, it's really triggering on my eyes just to look at it. It's getting on my nerves. So I'll chuck one of those in, and all it's going to do is any of the critters that get to 90% of their maximum age, which I think the shine is 100 years. So technically when they get to 90, it will auto do that to them. It'll auto kill them and then output the food if they give off food, or barbecue as it's called, or nothing if not. But it just means that I'm not going to be feeding, nor am I going to be grooming the older variants that won't be laying eggs. I'm going to do that on all of the rooms, so you can see there's one built there for the hatch, one built there for the fancy hatches, and then one for the poke shells as well. They don't give barbecue, they give seafood or shellfish. Yeah, shellfish. I'm not putting them in the Dracos because, of course, the Draco population is tiny and it's only going to get worse. Spoiler. The bottom two rooms there that were farms are being used as a cooling loop. The opposite to cooling, which is heating, is the word I was trying to use. So the one thing I found with the heating coming from that meteor is that there's a lot of it and it's much hotter than I need. So when the Draco rooms get to a specific temperature, which I've set at 55 degrees, the thermometers will kick in and divert that heat to that room there. You can see at the very bottom. And basically what's going to happen is that room is just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, taking the heat away from the meteor, cooling it down, which is what we want, but also stopping it from going to the Dracos and making that room too warm, both for the duplicants and for the crops. The critters are fine with hot temperatures. The Dracos are anyway. Then, because obviously just moving the heat from one place to another is silly, I am, of course, going to put in some thermostatic generators in that room, so they'll eat that heat and turn it into energy. And then we're still cooling it down, but doing it slightly different. Now, I could have done that, actually, and I'll look at maybe doing that with the gold volcanoes. Actually just having a massive loop, cooling loop, that goes into the room, takes away all the heat, and then chucks it into a room full of thermostatic generators. Certainly going to try that. Not sure yet whether it will work. We have unlocked now the fancy rooms for the critters. Unfortunately, I can't do the water one because it has to be fully submerged. I do try, but it don't work. So the poke shells won't get a house, and the Dracos won't either because there's just no room. But the hatches will, and it gives them comfortable, I think it's called, comfort. Anyway, it gives them a stat that I think is called comfy. And that gives them 1 mood boost, which is 1 happiness. And we all know happy critters are healthy critters, and happy critters are egg-laying critters. So, all in all, useful and warranted for what we want to do. After all, we are in the business of ranching quite seriously a crap ton of critters. And there's only more to come as well when we get more exotic ones, because that's what I'm going to do. Not necessarily because we need to, just because it's fun to do. Especially if we can not keep killing them like I did with my Drekos. But I do need to look into the food setup much better and plan ahead. So here we are again with my patented, not really, gas storage system. Just the same as before. Obviously it doesn't hold every gas, it's just the ones I'm actually collecting and storing, just to try and clean up around. And also separating them out, specifically things like the hydrogen and natural gas is very useful later on, and it will be. In turn, I'm going to start moving some of the geysers as well. I already have started up in that top left-hand corner, which is what I said I was going to do, and trying to make the base a lot more symmetrical as well. So you can see very clearly there to the left top corner, there is geysers now trapped in a room. The two on the left are pushing out water, polluted and clean, and the one on the right is a saltwater one. Below them is generators to absorb the heat that they're throwing out and giving us, again, free electricity, though I am not harnessing it because there's no cables on them. Well, there's a cable on them to make them work, but there's not a cable going to a battery. Then down the centre I've put an insulated tile to try and stop the two waters mixing. Now I will get rid of that shortly because I don't actually care. All I want to do is get all of the geysers that are of liquid, water liquid, together, and that will fall in. So there will be water, polluted water, salt water, brine. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Answers in the postcard if I am wrong. So all of them can be turned to water through different various sortings. The brine and salt water goes through a desalinator, and the polluted water goes through a sieve to clean it. But either or, they're infinite water sources and we need them. So I'm going to work with those. Little door at the top there and some ladders so they can get in and do what they need to do. That guy just went in there and surveyed all of those current geysers we've got. So we got some data disks from that, and also the stats on when they are and aren't going to go, and what they're going to release and how much of. The generators there keeping the rooms as cool as possible. Really, I'm not sure if I could put them above them and it'd be more efficient or not. The annoying thing with the temperatures in this game is that the hot stuff doesn't float to the top like you would expect it to. You would expect all the heat to go to the top, so if you just put the cooling generators or the thermostatic generators there, it would work. Over there on the left, you can see I concreted all that liquid together, so that's good. I do need somewhere for it to go, so what I'm going to do here is put in a tall but thin basin storage tank that I can use to put in the liquid. So this first one likely to be for polluted water or clean water, though clean water can go straight into the main storage system. I am going to build a few more of those to the left of that one as my sorting tanks for now. Just, again, until I figure something out. I'm not sure entirely what. I'm going as we go. I need to uncover all of the geysers as well, so any I see, I can get them moved over. Just need to dig into where they are. There you can see another steam geyser on the left-hand side. And as you can see, I'm getting rid of this gas. Then I can dig up from there, drain that liquid out, that water out, which will fall into that reservoir below, as I've mentioned. And then we can get to that geyser, survey it, and then using the move mod, move that to here as well. So opening this up, and that will now drain out of there, as I've said. Get that. I need to take that section out there as well so that the water can flow reasonably easily down into the bottom section where I've got the rest of the liquid stored. With that done, we can survey that and now move that too, and we'll move it there. I've already taken out that central partition, as I've said. You can see as well on the left hand side that I am using storing the polluted water in there for now. I could move it over to a tank, but it's too warm And that is the reason I'm not doing that. I don't want to start sending 40 to, well, I think it's actually more nearly 50 degrees water into the base, because all that's going to do is make the base too hot. So I've now got 3 geysers running. 3 of them are a form of water. Actually, no, all 4 of them are technically water. Though the one on the far right is salt, so it will need a desalinator in order to strip that out. But that's fine. It's not too difficult to do, and we can do it. I just want to first make sure that the temperature of the water is no warmer than, I don't know, 28, 27, 28 degrees. Anything higher than that will need to be dealt with first. I often make that mistake, and end game or late game, you find that your base is too warm because all of the liquids that have been pushed in there are too warm as well. So I've moved over the teleporters from the industrial side into the actual base because I believe that's where they belong. And also the teleporters for the goods as well. So them, above the teleporters, they're them 2 machines, for those of you that have not used them before, allow you to transport your solid goods, your liquid goods, and your gas goods between the asteroids. As long as, obviously, these 2 machines that you can see there, you have to find them on the new asteroid as well. So we're going to send over a participant, we'll say, in order to get this additional asteroid set up. What we're looking for over here is any new type of crops or critters that we can send over, but also items to give us the foods for the critters we have. More specifically, which we already can, or I can already tell just by looking at this biome that we're in and the asteroid that we're on, muds and polluted mud. Because all of those things, mud and polluted mud, are surrounding us on this asteroid, and all of them can be sent back, turned into food for the poke shells to allow us to keep growing those and keeping our steel production going, as well as the food that we get from them, the seafood. Shellfish, sorry. There are a couple of other plants on this planet that you can grow. The bogweed, I think they're called, or the bogwort, I can't remember. They are decent food to eat on this asteroid, but you can't grow them. There is also the melon-looking things as well, but I don't think you can grow them. There are some... what are they called? Spark bugs? No, can't remember what they're called. The blue little slug-looking things. Plug slug. I think that's it. I think they're called plug slugs. Basically, they eat ore, any ore. And at night time, when they sleep, they give off quite a lot of energy. I think they give off 800 each, or it might be 400 each. But basically, you just put a power cable along the roof, and when they go to sleep at night, they hang from the power cable and give you free energy as well. So yet another form of energy, and there's quite a lot of them on this planet. Now, to get the critters back home, there is no way of teleporting them. We have to use a spacecraft, so I will have to do that if I wish to send them over. We can send the eggs, so that's an option if there's a lot of eggs, but we can't send the live critters. Actually, thinking about it, I'm probably going to do that. Send over the eggs and hatch them out there. Now, there are multiple morphs of the plug slugs as well, which are obviously called different things, but we'll look at that if and when I get to that stage. For now, what we're actually trying to do here is get a base set up. So a bedroom, a bathroom, fix all the floors, block all the holes, make sure that they're as comfortable as they can be in what they are. As soon as we've got the basics done, the duplicate then I'll have to go and open up that casket. You can see where the other duplicate is sleeping. And then that's basically a free person that you get for coming here. Now, if you've noticed where I've moved stuff around, I've done that on purpose because these buildings need to be in separate rooms so that you get the morale boost. So the bedrooms being in a separate room, you get the barracks, which is 1 point. The toilets there, being the outhouses being in there, gives you an outhouse, so that will give you another 2 points. And then the rest of it in that room in the middle is irrelevant. I'm obviously going to get some seating in there so that they can eat. There is our extra duplicant, so we got a free duplicant, which is wonderful. The data discs that are on the floor from inspecting the things that are here, because they're all brand new, will need to be sent home as well. Once we've done this and just got a bit of a storage set up to put everything in, I then need to find the relative buildings. The one there on the left-hand side, that's the receiver. So we can send stuff now from our base to this. Both gases, liquids, and solid objects like food and stuff. So they're pretty safe. And then just below it, you can see that is the sender. That is what we need to uncover, get to, activate, and uncover, so that we can send stuff from this asteroid home. This asteroid also has a new type of ore, which is cobalt, which we're very used to using. Blue refined metal. Also very good, depending on what you're using it for, but it is certainly a stronger option than copper and gold. It's more like iron, but with a couple of extra properties. And it's a better decor, I believe. Now, we are going to have a few issues with digging because our guys aren't skilled enough to dig. So we have only got 2 of them. The new guy, likely I'll make into a digger because he's going to be the one that gets the points quickest because he's brand new. So I'll just turn him into a digger straight off the bat, leaving the guy that we sent over to the teleporter to do the more refined, specialised things. Simple gas pipe setup here with 3 areas for vents. The idea then is if we do have an issue with oxygen on this asteroid, I can send it from home. It will come through this, through the pipe and into the vents and basically make the base safe. I am not going to do that automatically though, because that is a waste of oxygen from the home planet. That is only in case of emergencies, but I don't want an emergency to need me to build all the piping, so that's why I've done that straight away. With plenty of building, digging and replacing that they need to do, I'm also going to fetch out that ceiling as well and make it level because the wonky ceilings do my head in. We are way over time for this episode, so apologies for that. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always, and they do help me with the YouTube algorithm, so that would be appreciated. Comment, let me know how I'm doing or what can change. Subscribe for more. Again, thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.